yo, why can't I find the movie? And then I didn't hear anyone talk about it. I'm like, this can't be a good sign. Like, I don't know if Netflix is trying to hide it or...
It's not going. Hit the thing. Come on, let's go.
You know I got a flip phone.
Kidding me? Oh, I got it.
Drive-By Movies, you're watching
Fresh Releases.
My name's Blaze.
And my name is James.
And this week we're talking Netflix's original film, Old Dads.
You have no idea how awesome I was at your age. Julio Iglesias came up to me in an airport, dead certain I was his son Enrique. The kind of vibe I was putting out, bro.
That's ridiculous.
I was ridiculous.
World famous comedian Bill Burr has stepped into the director's chair with his debut on Netflix. That movie's Old Dads, which is about three best friends that sell their company to a millennial. They find themselves out of step and behind the times as they hilariously struggle to navigate a changing world of culture. So, a lot of people aren't fans of Bill Burr. Blaze, you introduced me to Bill Burr. I love the dude. He is hilarious, and I can see why he can offend some people, but I'm not one of those people who really gets offended all that much. And there's jokes that like I can handle, and some jokes I'm just like, that's not really funny. That's just not my style. Bill Burr though is one of those people who a lot of people you like either love him or you hate him and stuff. I love him. There's nothing the man can do wrong except directing just a kind of dull Judd Apatow style movie. What are your thoughts on Old Dads, Blaze?
You nailed Judd Apatow, and honestly, I thought his wife was Leslie Mann for the longest time in the movie until she's not in it that much. So I was like, oh, is that Leslie Mann? I couldn't really tell. But I thought that this was sadly a disappointing film. I think this really went to be the testament of the fact that it takes so long to make a movie that everything that's in this movie seems super outdated, whether it was the pandemic or just the writing took forever. I'm assuming it was they were writing it, then the pandemic, then, it just took forever to get off the ground, that it feels like everything in this film is extremely outdated almost.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say we're both millennials. We're kind of revealing our age there. But I mean, I know millennials can get over the top with their political correctness and stuff too, but I'm overall politically correct, but I'm not a crazy snob like some of the people within this movie. And so at first the whole movie I was just like, oh, is this going to be the full movie just older guys, old dads making fun of millennials and how garbage we are and how we're so politically correct? And so I was really hating the first 45 minutes of this movie. And luckily, though, it does change its path, but it took too long to get there. And also, it's not like I wanted Bill Burr and his character and his friends to change overall. I was like, this just isn't funny, though, overall, which is weird to me because Bill Burr is funny. He does notice a lot of great stuff, but just I don't know if it was just lost in the translation of writing and just wasn't able to develop it properly. But yeah, it's just a weirdly paced film, and there wasn't really anyone that I really cared for all that much for throughout the movie, even though I wanted to like someone because it's a very likable cast. Love Bill Burr, love Bobby Carnevale, and even the villain kid who buys their company too. I don't know that actor's name, but he's hilarious in the movie Blockers. Loved him in the first Halloween movie too. Not the first Halloween, sorry, the first of the reboot series. But yeah, it's there's a lot of likable things within this movie, but just didn't work for me overall.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those movies where I was super stoked when I saw a trailer, because it's just a trailer. I'm hardly watching the trailers these days. So if I saw, Bill Burr's making a feature film, I'm getting pretty stoked. But then when it came out and it wasn't even on my Netflix, even though I already added it, you could pre-save it or whatever. I already added it and then I couldn't find it all on Netflix. I'm like, yo, why can't I find the movie? And then I didn't hear anyone talk about it. I'm like, this can't be a good sign. I don't know if Netflix is trying to hide it or I don't know. I also do think Netflix sometimes does that thing where if you show interest, like you add something to your list beforehand, they rarely show it to you. They're trying to show you stuff that's like you haven't added to your list yet. They're trying to show you new things, but it's sometimes like, dude, no, just that's the thing I want to watch. Like put that at the top, please. Like when it comes out, like the new Scott Pilgrim show, that wasn't even on my wasn't even really recommended to me, because they recommended it to me like 2 months ago when it was announced, and then it wasn't on my homepage, which, it's kind of weird that they do stuff like that. But yeah, I felt like this was one of those movies where it seemed like the cards might be in the right spot, but I don't know if it was like the pandemic or just the amount of comedy that was there was just kind of weird at times. I don't know if it's just constantly harping on Bill Burr's character being like, kind of this guy who's from a different generation, and people used to act differently. People were more tough in my generation, but it doesn't seem funny at any time, like that character. I know that the whole show F is for Family was basically like that. So seeing that just done in a modern day with actually Bill Burr in it surprisingly didn't translate, and kind of sucks that was the case. I feel like there was something there. I just don't know if like somebody needed to come in and punch it up or if it was the direction. I can't really tell if it's like the writing or direction was really the problem here, but Bill Burr did them both. So
I'd say there's nothing necessarily wrong with the directing. There's just nothing really special about it. I guess it's overall the writing, because none of the jokes really worked for me. And it's a story that's been done to death, kind of. But the thing is, also, these are old dads, but like, Bill Burr's becoming like a new dad for his, I believe, baby girl. His wife's pregnant with their second kid. And I forgot that actress's name, but I know she's married to Mark Duplass. I know you called her Leslie Mann and stuff, but yeah, she was hilarious in The League. So it's nice to see her in a movie again, because it's been quite some time. Fantastic in The Puffy Chair as well. But just like, it's weird to see guys who are like, I think they say 49, 50 within this movie and stuff. We've all heard of midlife crises, but they're not midlife crisis for these guys, because these guys are like at their like 3/4 life crisis. And I'm just like, this isn't funny to see 50-year-old guys just freaking out at a strip club. And it's like, that's kind of like played off, like it plays off like the early 2010 movies where like, they're more drama-esque, and then there's that one over the top crazy raunchy scene, and like it wasn't even that raunchy too, but it goes down at the strip club, and then like unnecessary fight scene too, where it's just like everyone help each other. It's just all this has been done before, and like Knocked Up, and what's the other movie? This Is 40, 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's just stuff that's been done before, and it's like this is still a movie that's coming out 15 years too late, I guess. And it's just weird because Bill Burr is someone who's so funny. It just feels weird for him to kind of go backwards for a movie like this.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just a testament to show you how late in your career you finally get the movie. Like, it took Bill Burr how long in his career? He had to lose all his hair first, and now he finally gets to make a movie, and it's just it just doesn't work out. Maybe if he made a movie between those first two specials, holy shit, it would probably be the funniest thing we've ever seen. But it just sucks that he's out there selling out arenas, and then finally we can get a movie from him. I guess like he's got to be totally successful first by Hollywood standards to finally get a chance to make his own movie. So it's cool that he did get the opportunity, and I have to say, at least like if this was a Judd Apatow produced, but I don't know if actually Judd Apatow produced this, but sorry, if this was a Judd Apatow directed, Bill Burr movie, this probably would have been 2 hours and 40 minutes with like a full emotional, even though we still have the full emotional arc with Bill Burr, they would have like shown scenes of him actually in therapy, like multiple times throughout the movie. And I feel like I'm glad we got the Bill Burr movie that was only an hour and 45 minutes, even though at times I'm like wishing that it still could have been a 90-minute movie.
Yeah. And at least, like, Bill Burr, he had the structure of the story. Like, it just wasn't paced right. But, like, at least he had, like, callbacks. I was complaining about, like, jokes of comedies. I forgot what movie I went on a rant on a couple weeks ago that we're reviewing. But, some stuff came full circle within this movie. So I'm not writing off Bill Burr. Like, I know he can direct a great movie and stuff. I just think, like, this is his debut. And, he worked with Judd Apatow on King of Staten Island, which I really liked him in that movie. And that movie was overall, like, I enjoyed, but kind of just forgot about. So I understand why he wanted to get into it. And it was a great shot. It's just like, there was just nothing really special about it. But I still believe that he's going to come knock it out of the park with maybe a second or third movie in the future. But hopefully Netflix gives him his chance. What are your thoughts on the movie, though? It's on Netflix. Did you know that? Because I've heard no one talk about this movie except for you and I, Blaze. So if you've checked it out, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. That's a great way to help support the show.
And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates.
If you can't get enough of us here on YouTube, be sure to catch all our updates on social media down below. We got Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, as well as our own personal letterbox accounts. That'll conclude this week's episode. Tune in next week for a brand new video.